Hey guys, so it's me Rafia. I am back, and this video is specifically to talk about my journey going to the DR getting BBL surgery. So I went to the DR last year, 2020, September. It was during a pandemic. It was a lot going on. So with my journey, I was originally going to go to Miami to get my surgery. I was going to go to my sister doctor. So that's all I knew. I didn't really do much research. But then she came to me and was like, wait a minute, I seen this doctor out the country in DR and we should go there. So I'm like, dang. So for those of you who don't know, out in the country, they take out more fat. So in the States like Miami, Houston, Atlanta, they only can take so much fat. So most people think, oh, they're going out the country because it's cheaper. Like, no, you go out the country because you're gonna have better results. So that's the difference. That's rule number one with surgery. A lot of people are always asking like, who's your doctor? Who did you go to? Why did you go out the country? Were you scared? This, and that. My main reason of going out the country was I wanted a very snatched waist and I wanted to have no stomach, and that's what I got. So I'm very happy with my decision. I was extremely scared because when I had looked up my doctor, he had so many bad reviews. He had a lot of deaths on YouTube. Like if you search his name, you will see all the bad stuff that they say about him. But I also did my own research and I saw that he was very qualified. He's been doing surgery for years. So you have to know when someone is doing surgery for years, they will have more deaths than the next person. So with that being said, I went on and did what I thought was best for my life, which was going to the doctor. And a lot of people are always asking like, who is your doctor? Who did you go to? And that's the thing. You have to do your research for you. Like what's best for me, it may not be best for you. And that's what I always tell people. I'll tell some people like, okay, this is where I went, but at the end of the day, y'all shouldn't be worrying about where I went. Y'all should be worrying about and doing your research for who you think is the most qualified. And so now a year in, it's like I'm just steady hearing about so many more deaths or this and that about a doctor. And it's like, you know what? I don't even care to recommend my doctor anymore because that's not going to be on my life, my hands. If something happened to you and I recommended you to go out the country and boom, now you may had a complication or something may have happened. Like I recommended one of my clients, like I said earlier, I'm a lash technician, so I recommended one of my clients and she went out there to my doctor. She came back snatched, but however, she did develop, I think it was a cyst. She did develop something. I forgot what it was called, and I don't know if she want me telling her business anyway, so I'm gonna just leave it at that. She did develop something where she had to get hospitalized, and then I also had another friend that went out there and she had a lot of bad burns. So it's just like, at this point, people need to do their own research. I'm just showing this video to show you guys and tell you guys a little bit about my experience and what I went through when I went to Dominican Republic to get my BBL. So first things first, when I went there, I was so scared. I flew there by myself. First time going out the country by myself, hella scared. So soon I got there, I got off the airplane. We in the airport, boom, the power went out while we was getting our luggage. So I'm immediately thinking like, okay, they about to try to kidnap me. Like it's pitch dark, phone's not working. I just heard too much stuff about out the country. So I just knew like I was about to lose my life. So anyway, power went back on. Apparently that's what happens out in DR. The power goes out a lot of times because it's a very poor country. So the power went back out. I met my driver. They took me to the recovery house. So to me, going to the recovery house, it gives very much Bad Girls Club. Like the girls, like I walked in and everybody was just looking at me and I'm just like, I'm so excited about, getting my BBL. A lot of girls there have already gotten it. So I guess they weren't as excited as I was. They more so were in pain. So they were kind of dry when I walked in and spoke. And I'm just like, okay. So anyway, after a couple days, all the girls eventually got cool. We started talking and stuff. And yeah, it was just a lot going on. So as far as the recovery house, I went to DR Recovery House. I recommend that recovery house. I love that recovery house so much. My favorite girl there was Mimi and Rosie. So if you guys do go to DR Recovery House, tell them Marfia said hi and I miss them. They took such good care of me. They were perfect. I couldn't ask for better care. And that was my first time going to the recovery house or getting surgery, period. So I heard a lot of bad things about recovery house and how they don't take good care of you. And I was just like, well, they definitely took good care of me here. So I had nothing but good things to say about DR Recovery House. So I was there for so going to the DR, they want you to fly out there for 2 days before your surgery so your body can relax and stuff. So I was there for 2 days, and the day of my surgery, the day before my surgery, my sister came down just so she could be there before I go under knife, because that was my main thing I was concerned about. And of course, I'm sure that's what a lot of people are concerned about when it comes to the surgery stuff, because we're all scared that we may not wake up. That's a possibility we get a surgery. So yes, my sister came down, I felt much better. So the day of the surgery, they wake you up at maybe 5 a.m. No, they wake you up at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and then take you to where you're getting your surgery. So at that point, it's the scariest time ever. So I'm there, I meet my doctor. We talk, he marks up my body, and I'm just like so scared. So I'm trying to be calm. My sister's trying to calm me down. I think I have videos. I have videos that I will post after I get done talking of the journey and just everything. Like videos from SIPLA. So I got my surgery done at SIPLA in the Dominican Republic. So yeah, so I meet my overnight nurse. My overnight nurse was cool, but she was just a little too aggressive. She was cool, but a little aggressive. And she was rubbing my sister the wrong way. I'm just like, listen, you really need to calm down. So anyway, I met my overnight nurse. So then another thing as far as with SIPLA, it's an all-day thing. They would have you there at 6 a.m. telling you to be there for surgery. It's thousands of girls that's at SIPLA, and depending on which doctor you get, the waiting room is going to be packed. They do have Wi-Fi. You got to ask to get the Wi-Fi, but the waiting room is going to be so packed. There's so many girls in there. It's just a lot going on. It's a lot going on in SIPLA, and if you've gotten a surgeon DR, you would know what I'm talking about. So basically, as the day went on, you do all your labs, all your physicals, and so another thing, so they do tell you to come down, when you come down there, to have like x-rays, physicals, and have your COVID test and all that. So I did that the first time, and I went to the doctor and paid for all these exams and physicals and x-rays, and they didn't use none of my stuff. So that's one thing I would say don't do. Don't stress yourself out before you get surgery trying to get all your physicals and check this and check that. Unless you do have health issues, then go ahead and do that. But if you don't have health issues, they're gonna do all that when you get down there. So by the time they finish doing all your labs and all this, but by the time they do all that, you'll be done. So another thing, y'all, everybody kept telling me, because I was so scared to get the surgery, everybody kept telling me, if God give you a sign to not get it, don't get it. So basically, you had to pee in a cup before your surgery to get your surgery. Yeah, I could not pee at all. So I was just like, see, this is a sign. I do not need to get surgery. I'm gonna die. Don't get surgery. I could not pee. It took the whole day. So the reason why I didn't get my surgery till later on that day is because I couldn't pee the entire day. And I was also on my period. So ladies, be mindful. If you can schedule your surgery without being on your period, try to do that, because being on your period and getting surgery and after surgery cramping and bleeding, and it's too much. So as far as peeing in the cup, so they tell you cannot drink water the day of your surgery. So my doctor he told me to drink some water so I can go ahead and pee so they can get the test going. So I drank water, whatever, boom. So I'm like, man, listen, I think I'm forcing the issue. I probably should not get this surgery. Another thing. So now it's time to get surgery. So they come in there, they give you a blue pill. So I'm sure a lot of you guys may have heard about that, the blue pill. So they give you a blue pill, and I was just so scared because I did so much research before my surgery. I knew everything. I knew what was about to happen next. I knew what the blue pill meant. I knew all of it. So they gave me the blue pill, and I already had anxiety as is. So the blue pill is supposed to help calm you down, and I just feel like it didn't do nothing for me. I was in a room with my sister, and I was on the phone with my mom. I was literally crying because I was so scared to go under knife. I heard so much bad stuff about this doctor. I was extremely terrified, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm crying in the room, I'm trying to calm down. My sister's like, you need to calm down. You don't want to go under knife like that. Calm down. I finally calmed down, and they took me under knife. Yeah. For one, they take you, they roll you away. I'm gonna put all this footage. I have footage of me in the rolling chair. I have footage of me crying. So they take you, they take you downstairs, and they sit you up, and they put a big ass needle through your back and give you an epidural. Now, a lot of y'all may not know that when you go out the country, they give you an epidural for surgery. So they gave me the epidural, and like I said, I was off the blue pill, so I was already kind of a little drowsy, but not really. So they gave me the epidural, so I'm sitting there. Boom, next thing you know, I don't remember nothing else. Now, a lot of people may not know that throughout surgery in the Dominican Republic, you do wake up. And I saw a lot of people saying that on YouTube. When I did my research, I was very scared about that. But I will say, when you wake up, you're alert, but you don't really have no feeling. Like, you don't have a feeling of being scared. You don't have a feeling of wanting to cry or scream or hop off the table. You're pretty much numb because, for one, you're off the epidural. And yeah, so I was just laying there like, I know I'm not up during this surgery, and I couldn't talk. I couldn't say help. I couldn't say nothing. So all I remember was holding one of the doctor's hand, and I was just like holding his hand. I was just so happy that I woke up. Like, I was so happy, and I was like, I ain't doing this surgery. I ain't doing this surgery stuff ever again. I woke up the first time. I would never do it again. So anyway, I'm holding the doctor's hand. I'm giving him a thumbs up, like, thank you for waking me up. Mind you, I couldn't talk. Okay, so after that, they take you to this room. And I feel like I'm going real in detail because I feel like a lot of people didn't stress this enough, and I went and got surgery and did not know. So they take you into this room where you have to like shake it out real good. Like, you gotta, so after your surgery, you be shaking real bad from coming off the anesthesia, I guess. So they take you to this room, you just shaking, like just shaking, just cold, just shaking. It's a very uncomfortable feeling. So you laying there, it's probably like 7 to 8 girls getting wheeled in, getting wheeled out the room. Y'all and are just shaking for a good hour and laying on your butt. When I was laying down, my body was still numb, so I wasn't in much pain, but there was other girls in the room like crying and stuff and yelling. Like, I just hated that whole part of the experience. It was just too much for me. So after that, they take you back to your room after you shake it out real good. They take you back to your room, and your overnight nurse stay there with you. So that's another thing. Like, I feel like I never been in the States and got surgery, but my sister did, and I was there with her, so I saw her process, and it was just completely different from what went on in the States and what went on out the country. Like, in Miami, they just wheel you out there and you go about your business. Like, when I got my sister, they just wheeled her out the back and I took her to the hotel and I took care of her. So out the country, I say it's more secure as far as you get an overnight nurse. You stay at the clinic for 24 hours where they watch you. The nurses come in, give you your medicine, make sure you're good, make sure you're not in too much pain. So I will say that was a blessing that somebody is always there for you. So if you did bring somebody down there, they cannot stay in that overnight room with you. So my sister had to stay and go back to the recovery house while I was there overnight, and she was able to come back the next morning. So in the midst of that, like I said, I was on my period. So yeah, I had to get 2 blood transfusions. And that's not really the biggest deal, but I was very weak. I was very, very weak. So after that, y'all, once that epidural wore off, it was nothing to play with at all. when I say my butt hurted so bad, like so bad, and I already had a nice sized butt before I went. I told him that I did not want a big butt. I told him I wanted my butt shaped, and I didn't get no fat to my butt either. So I just got my butt shaped and rounded or whatever. Whatever he did, y'all, I was on fire. And so basically, your overnight nurse, they gonna be asleep the whole time. And that's what was making me mad, because I'm like, listen, I'm over here in pain and you sleep. They just didn't sit right with me. So anyway, I wake up, y'all, and after the epidural wore off, I'm on my butt. So I'm literally trying to like sit up and get off my butt. She like, mommy, lay down. I'm like, listen, my butt hurts. So after that kind of calmed down, once the epidural completely wore off, y'all, it was a wrap. So another thing I did not like was when they come in there and put the medicine in your IV, that burned so bad, so bad. That was another thing I hated. And they come and do it. They did that at least 5 times. So I'm like, all right. So like I said, my sister wasn't there. So I'm texting her like, come on, get here. It's almost 6 a.m. Come the next day. So she came. Once my sister got there, I did feel better, but I was still in pain. So after that, yeah, make a long story short, once I left SIPLA, because like I said, you stay there for 24 hours and then you go back to your recovery house. They came and got me. I didn't feel as bad because it was the second day. It was the second day after surgery. I didn't feel too bad. So after that day was over, I had to go home. So before I left SIPLA, they put me in my thigh. Now, that's no joke. Them pulling all your stuff off you, putting you in this tight thigh, your body bruised up, bleeding everywhere. I mean, it really hurts. Okay, so mind you, now I'm back at the recovery house. It's late night. And now it's time for me to take my bath. And I'm like, dang, I gotta get out. Well, did I take a shower? No, so one thing they do, they really good at cleaning you and bathing you and making sure you're good. So she took my thigh off to wash it. I hated that. It was like, just let me stay in my thigh. This hurts. So anyway, after that process, I feel like after you go through the surgery, you good. Like once you make it through the surgery, you're good. And that's how I felt too. It was like my main thing. I wasn't really pressed about, oh, am I gonna be in pain or what's gonna be like after the surgery? No, my main thing was waking up and possibly not being able to wake up. I had a problem with that. So once I woke up, it was like, okay, if whatever pain I'm in, I just know this is what comes with being beautiful and whatever. So yeah, so okay, the next couple days, so with my doctor, he don't have you get a massage after like 4 days of surgery. So with me, like I said, I was on my period. I was very weak. I was very lightheaded. So they told me I couldn't get massages right away because I could barely walk down the stairs without feeling like I'm gonna pass out. It was very discouraging seeing other girls and just being up and seeing them walk around and walk up the stairs. And I could walk, but I couldn't walk far without like having to hold on to something. Like, and then when I would start walking and stuff like that, like if I closed my eyes, I would see stars. Like, yeah, I'm telling y'all, this surgery is no joke. It's all fun and games until it's your time to get it. So yeah, so I was very lightheaded. And after so many steps, I would see stars. So after a couple days, you have to go back up to SIPLA to get different highs and also to see your doctor. So it's like once they just drop you off, it is what it is. You got to make your way up the stairs and either make your way up the elevator. And there's so many girls. It's just a lot going on. And when you weak and can barely walk and can barely breathe, it's just like, wait a minute. But yeah, like when you weak and can barely walk, can barely breathe, it's just a lot. So at this point, I'm there by myself. My sister had left, and it was cool because like The girls at the recovery house took such good care of me. I had no complaints. I had nothing, no complaints. So at that time, the doctor seen me, made sure I was good. So now I'm getting sent back to get a massage. That was the worst part of it all. So once I got my massage, it's pretty bad. And I mean, it was so traumatic, y'all. Like, they take you in a room. The room is very cold. Typically, there will be music playing. It's certain songs that I would hear in St. Louis, and it'll bring me back to that trauma. Like, I'm not playing. So she massaged me. She massaged my back and all that, and it wasn't that bad. So then she got to doing my arms. So with my surgery, I got lipo 360, BBL, and my arms. So when she got to putting two hands on my arm and just going like this, I'm like, all right, that's a wrap. And I think she was doing that 2 times a day, if I'm not, no, yeah, she was doing it 2 times a day. And it was just a lot, yeah, it really was. It hurted really bad. And there's nothing you can really do to prepare for it. Like the medicine, they give you Tylenol, and unless you want to bring your own medicine, some people do bring perks and stuff down there. I didn't have any of that, so I was off Tylenol. I'm trying to think, make sure I covered everything. So, and then another thing too with the DR, so they want you to stay down there for 2 weeks. I must say I did stay down there for 2 weeks because, like I told y'all earlier, I wasn't able to like walk and be good on my own until like 9 days after surgery. I kid you not. And I was like, dang, what am I gonna do when it's time to go to the airport? I cannot walk on my own without feeling faint. So I feel like it was God. Like soon it was time for me to like get the strength to go to the airport. And it was like my last 2 days. I swear I snapped out of everything and just felt 100% better. But so I think I stayed for 14 days. But I'm telling you, the first 9 days. And let me tell y'all about something else. So another thing too, I don't know if y'all heard, but sometimes after BBL, you get a lot of bad headaches, a lot of bad migraines. Sometimes you get nauseous. I was throwing up. I threw up maybe twice. And so, I ain't gonna put that in there. Let's see, what else can I tell y'all? So yeah, so I must say I love my results. I do recommend going out the country, but I do recommend going out the country because at the end of the day, Miami or DR or Colombia, whichever, you risking your life. Going on the night period is risking your life. So a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to go out the country because it's dangerous. Going on the night in Miami is just as dangerous. So if I'm gonna risk my life, I'm gonna take it where I'm gonna look the best, and that's out the country. Now, you know, I'll say just do your research and make sure whatever look and body type you're going for is your doctor does good in that. My doctor did best in thick women, and I was a very thick individual, so it was best that I went with him. But you may be a smaller person and that want a slim BBL, so my doctor wouldn't be best for you. And not necessarily that my doctor wouldn't be best for you, but there may be a better doctor for you than my doctor. So yeah, I just feel like when it comes to the surgeries, in the surgery world, you really have to just take your time and figure out what works for you, and just do your research before you go to anybody, before you pay any deposit. Don't rush it. I know that surgery has become the new thing now. I just say don't rush it. Take your time with it. Before you pay your deposit, take your time. I was out of $500 because, like I said, I was going to go to Miami when I was going to get my first BBL, but I didn't go. I went out the country. And I will say I don't regret it at all. Like, I love my body. I'm gonna post pictures of my body afterwards. I love my body. It's been almost a year since I went now. It's been almost a year since I got my first BBL, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I probably wouldn't get no more surgery until I have kids, but I'm very happy that I did do that. And it just let me know that I feel like if you can do a BBL, you can do anything in life. Like, Might as well. Period. I'm gonna make another video of what to bring when you go out the country. Cause this was just talking about my experience. So I'm gonna do another video on what to bring and how to get ready to go out the country for a BBL. All right, thank you guys so much for watching my YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and like all my videos, and thank you guys so much.